1997, we attacked Kumbo, Oko, Jakiri. More than 300 persons were taken into Kondengi.
On the 28th of March, 1997, I left Ntarinkon and I walked up it was close to the Ntarinkon market. I went to the house of my brother, an extended cousin. I wanted to know if he had a 2-round gun. He said he had one, but it was not with him. And he provided me with a knife. It's almost this kind of Hausa knife. I came back to where we had secured as our temporary headquarters. I handed that knife to the chairman of the War Council for him to lead an assault on Bafut Gendarmerie Station. That night was the longest night in my life. Then we had no cell phones. There was no communication. We contacted each other by sending someone to go meet you and communicate where you are, meet the next person. He took that knife. He said, I'm leaving, I may not come back, and I wish him good luck. At about 1 a.m., I received information that I have to leave Ntarinkon because the enemy forces were moving in. I moved from Tarinkon at that night towards Mbengwi Park. And I came back to the same location because that's the only place that the death chair could find me. I took the risk back at about 5 to come back to make sure if he comes back, he will find me. I had slept for about 2 hours. And I opened the door of the small room and I sat on the bed and I fell asleep. About 3 hours later, in my deep sleep, I heard the door open. I raised my head. The death chair walked in, very dirty, with his back. And the first thing he said to me, he said, boy, I nearly died. And he said, we lost Ngwa, and that the chief of staff was wounded. The chief of staff had a bullet through his right arm, through his stomach, and he was carried through Mbengwi, down into Bamenda, down into church, into Cow Street. And he took me to go and see the chief of staff. We entered a small room where he was bleeding. I had a leather jacket. I removed it. I gave it to him because he was cold. And the chief of staff said, we must continue to attack these people. The chief of staff then is the father of the commander of Alabokam, General Rambo. The son has taken over. Almost 7 years ago, when everybody thought it was impossible. But remember, if we had rifles then, the death chair would have taken over Bafut. We would have moved into Wum and come back through Bamenda to secure that town. We did not have the support. We had to maintain the resistance. Him and myself, when Akwanga was picked up, it became so difficult. We were living from one underground to the other. And we found an escape route in June 1998. He was so courageous when we stepped into a ship and he asked me to walk with him, and I did. We spent almost 30 days in a timber ship to be in exile. We have never spent a day without fighting for Ambazonia. Since that day, almost 7 years ago, he stepped up again. In the face of the brutality on our people, the assault on the dignity on Amazonians, when we had nothing, he had moved into Biafra land, I had moved into Biafra land, Kavi had moved into Biafra searching for weapons. He was bold, sitting behind his desk. He proclaimed the right of our people to defend themselves in the face of the brutality on our people. He was sure. His conviction was his weapon. His strength and courage was his weapon. And since then, he has not blinked. He has been able to build a renowned force that has been attacked, that has been brutalized. He has not blinked. We have an opportunity to give him what he needs to complete the journey. I trust this guy. I'm talking about stopping in Bafusam. He is thinking we'll reach Kuseri. Mr. Defense Chair, Amazonians would like to know what you will do if they give you the money, how fast you will take them to Boya, and how accountable you will be.
My country people them. Today, na number 24 day for September 2025. It make exactly 1 year after the Norwegian authorities they be arrest Cho Lucas Yabah for Norway and they charge you with inciting crimes against humanity. But today, we celebrate not just the 1 year incarceration of Yabah Cho Lucas, because this one it be a long time coming. Because Yabah Cho Lucas, Benedict Kwa, Pascal Kikishi Wangbi, and Ebenezer Akwanga, now the first Amba Boys than this, the first Amazonian terrorists, where they started terrorize we for Cameroon since 1997. And I bring una the evidence, and I go play for una. Yabah Cho Lucas himself go talk, Ebenezer Akwanga himself go talk as well, and then I go also give some small analysis before the end of this broadcast.
You have not seen the toes of Kang Difet Zakaria that were all chopped off. They call him Pa Chakara as a result of torture. You have not seen the suffering of Philip Tete or how Yimbu Patrick died in prison with his stomach so inflated. You have not seen it. You are not even aware that a certain File Lawrence Yaounde is his name, File Lawrence Yaounde, to show you how our people were so corrupted that an elderly man was named Yaounde. File Lawrence Yaounde died in Kondenge, was never taken back to his homeland. And he comes from where? Nsoland. He was buried somewhere at Soa as I speak to you. You never thought about Gwaricha Fomusa, who was the first person to die. That they got me up from my cell. Local 112. In the then quarter 3. That come because they were looking at me as the leader of the team of Southern Cameroonians who were in prison. Before I went to this dispensary of Kondenge Maximum Security Prison, Fire Lawrence, Gwaricha's lifeless body was on the floor. Rats have already started eating part of his eyes and his scrotum. Because the bed where they put him had no mattress. So he struggled that night and fell and died on the floor, vomiting blood. Or Ntane Daniel Difon, whom I was sleeping on the same bed, we call him Manda, in quarter 3, local 112. He was not sick for up to 1 hour. My stomach, he died. I can go on and on and on. You have not seen people die before you. So you collect pictures, you collect videos, you're happy. You can share them. Now death no longer matter to you people. Do you understand the pain of our people? You sit here in the West, you accumulate wealth to yourself. You show off the houses you have, the cars you drive, the dresses you wear. In fact, like as I said last time, you have become champions in, Mekuda cultural this, Fako this, Manu this. Come and see you people dancing Moninki. These are the same people who want independence.
The main reason why we had to make this presentation are because Anglophones, they be full of lies, manipulation. We hate the truth. Now the reality that now why that way you go get people that think say this ambassador thing is starting for 2016, 2017. You go get a bad belly wicked Anglophones where they talk say, oh, President Paul Biya declare war for 2017. But guess what? The ambassador terrorism it not start for Cameroon for 2016 or 2017. It be start since 1997. When I listen to the testimony from Cho Lucas himself, the very first Amba Boys them. When I listen.
The London communique terminated the reasonable time given La République to renegotiate the creation of a federal system. The London communique said that period of grace given La République is over, and we were moving to enlarge the council and transform it into the Constituent Assembly, then restore our independence. One of the main problems we faced then was that power within the SCNC was in the hands of people who never even wanted it, who simply by virtue of convening became leaders. That was somebody like Barrister Kontang Elad. You have the Simon Munzus. Kontang Elad became the chairperson of the council by virtue of the fact that himself, Professor Kasa Anyangwe, to a limited extent, Benjamin Etwe convened the All Anglophone conferences. The first leader of the Southern Cameroon National Council that really wanted that portfolio was late Chief Ayamba, because he campaigned and got elected. But let me not diverse. Once that power of the main body was given to the SCPC, it was usurped by the executive organ, which became the SCNC. They took that power and never wanted any other movement to exist. We all attended meetings of the SCNC, like representative of the SCYL. Late Dr. Yombang, Five Visha, and others sat in there as scam representatives. Late Ambassador Epia was always absent, was not strong enough, was in Yaoundé. What we then realized in the SCNC was moving from rhetorical claim for independence to actualizing that claim was a different ballgame. And these lawyers, nobody was willing to move from the comfort of their homes and running helter-skelter in bushes. And so after the London communique, to transform the council, to enlarge the council and then transform it into the Constituent Assembly became a big problem, because it required, after transformation, to now restore the independence. And that restoration would invite, the brutality of the enemy. So the leadership of the SCNC was not interested in that. Though not interested, any attempt by SCAM and the SCYL that worked together and adopted the military doctrine was seen as undermining the supposed body that was supposed to be the only body to speak on behalf of Amazonia. Does it sound familiar with what you're finding today of the exclusive claim by the IG to speak on our behalf? It took a meeting in 1996. That was a garden park. Either 96 or 95, I can't really recall. When we went into that meeting, then Ella had left. After pressure for Ella to transform, to enlarge the council and transform, he somehow mysteriously fell sick. I give him the benefit of doubt because you never really know. I think left for the US. We wanted to replace Ella with a militant, the chairperson of SCAM, Ambassador Epie. But the moderate had another idea, and they are always larger in number. That's the sad story. So we held nocturnal meetings in Boya, and we now appointed someone to nominate Ambassador Epie for the election, never knowing that the moderates were holding their own nocturnal meetings. When we met in Boya the next day, they brought in Ambassador Fossong. He got overwhelming majority and became the chairperson. Another moderate, afraid of war of reality, had taken over. But the notion of exclusive claim to speak on behalf of Ambazonia was prevalent. It took a radical departure by the SCYL leadership to begin to mobilize the ground, created units. We distributed the territory. Akwanga was in the Mutengene, Akwanga was in the my 16 area. Benedict, when I was in the Mutengene, I was overseeing Victoria, and then we carved out the northern zone where Akwanga went into the Bui axis, I went into the Mezam axis, and created units with thousands of men ready to fight. We were doing that as the SCNC the leadership was still there, claiming they were the only ones who had the right. After all, when we sat in a religious hotel in Victoria to talk about the UN trip, we were there. Look at all the people who went to the UN. All these old doctors, these professors, former ambassadors, they went there. We were all left out. That exclusive right, by virtue of who they were, who they had been, was prevalent then as it is today. Today you find the old rugged professors, they use money, they use statues, elitism, and put themselves together to claim exclusive power to speak on behalf of Ambazonia. But I'll come to that. And immediately after I think 1997, we had been planning to seize the entire territory in one day. I went into Manao Bay. I recruited Ambazonian soldiers. They carried me into Manao Bay, looked at it, see how we could take it. If I look back, I felt it was madness. There was not a single gun. We brought in a juju man from Ghana, and he went all over the territory, came down in cassava farm. We sat there in a small hall, a small house in the middle of the night, cutting us Odeshe. And we came up to Bamenda, did the same. People were tying things around their neck. We had our code, which I think I recall when we met in Ireland, Afi, Angwalang. So if an Ambazonian soldier then was the SCYL was moving, and they say, Afi, you respond Angwalang. If you don't respond, we know you are a stranger, because you must know the code. We had our code. We didn't just communicate the way that people are communicating today. We use coded languages. Feskawama 2 means come, which is, I think people are familiar with. So we prepared ourselves for a takeover. And once Dr. Akwanga was picked up, we initiated takeover. Immediately, I was at Mutengene going up with our team when I heard our forces had taken over. When news came that news made me in Bamena, Dr. Akwanga had been picked up. So I went down to get Ben and others, and we were going up to fight. No gun. We knew we would take it from them. But that is for historians. I wanted to put to you the entitlement mentality that haunted us. When Akwanga was picked up, all of these guys vanished. They disappeared. Fossong went into the woods. I came back to Victoria after being haunted. I moved to Dr. Yombang's clinic. No way. Moved to Bonaberry to one other person to stay there. He too was scared. I moved down back to Victoria. I moved from cassava farming to gardens, where I stayed underground, changed my identity. From there, we started rebuilding. I and Justice Ebong would drive to Douala every week for a meeting at Pa Yombang's home, and then we moved to Pa Feko's home every week. Then we decided to move the meeting to Mutengene, brought in orders, and then set up the Revolutionary Command Council under the leadership of Justice Ebong. When Akwanga was picked up from the first day, we started planning how to get him out of jail. no thinking of any court. We started thinking from day one. I went into Justice Ebong's village to look medicine people who said they could do whatever to see that we could get the prisoners out. Once we reconstituted the SCNC that had vanished, then Dr. Yomban proposed that we get Mukete because of his radicalism within the SDF. We thought bringing him at the helm will give us a way forward. And then Justice Ebong will hold the chairperson of the Revolutionary Command Council. And then Mukete will take the political leadership. Then somehow Benedict and myself will escape the territory and ended up in as nomads in Germany. Not long, they had that dream had come true and Mukete had been enthroned. He flew to Germany. I met him there. We spoke. Now, let me come fast forward. You see, what you are facing today, we faced it before. I created SCYA units across entire Europe. SCNC units to emerge. We tried to work together. It didn't work because SCNC insisted the SCYA had to work under them because they were the mother organization. You see, Comrade Yerima, we knew ourselves in Holland. When I went in there, installed the SCYA branch, we successfully brought the SCNC and SCYA together in Holland. But they of the SCNC destroyed it because they wanted to take preeminence. They said they were the biggest, they were the popular. And we continued building SCYA units. In Belgium, we set up the Benelux branch that brought together SCNC and SCYL. But the SCNC leadership at home was always fighting to make sure they crumble the unity we build so that they could take absolute control and control money for their legal nonsense that they were pursuing. Because they thought if we bring the two groups together, we'll have to mobilize resources to put it into defense. Because we were damn focused on defense. They destroyed every initiative, set up satellite of SCNC all over, and traveled doing nonsense that they were doing.
When I don't hear from the horse's mouth, the very first Amba Boys them. And when they talk about Benedict Mwana, it mean Benedict Kwa because Mwana na other name. Or when it talk, it refer to Ben, it is talking about Benedict Kwa. So all of these four people, they work more for Colin, whether not Ebenezer Akwanga, Benedict Kwa, Cho Lucas, or Pascal Kiki, all four of them, they don't already go prison or the day for prison right now as I speak. So we start with Ebenezer Akwanga. He don't go prison since 1997 for March, when they be launched that first terror attack for Cameroon. He be captured for Bui Division and he be sent to prison. They try he, by 2020, they find him guilty of terrorism and they sentence him for 20 years in prison. By 2003, Ebenezer Akwanga, with the help of Cho Lucas, he break out of prison for Yaoundé, he run go for Nigeria, and then from there where he find himself for America. So at least Ebenezer Akwanga don't already serve 6 years in prison for their terrorism and uprising inside Cameroon. As I speak, Benedict Kwa and Pascal Kiki and Cho Lucas, the day for prison, are waiting trial for their own crimes. On the 24th of September 2024, when 1 year ago, Benedict Kwa and Pascal Kiki, their homes will be raided by the FBI. At the same time where the cripples authorities for Norway, they be arrest Cho Lucas for Norway, where it means that all of these arrests and the raids they be coordinated when a transnational intercontinental arrangement with the law authorities then for Norway and for America, where they do simultaneous raids for Cho Lucas for Norway and Benedict Kwa and Pascal Kiki for Minnesota for America. But at that time for 2024, they no be arrest Benedict Kwa and Pascal Kiki for America yet. Now until the 5th of September 2025, where the American authorities, they finally arrest Benedict Kwa and Pascal Kiki and they charge them with 9 counts where they will go for prison for life because those charges they be very serious, including kidnapping for ransoms and bombing civilians inside Cameroon. While for Norway, they charge Yabah Cho Lucas with inciting crimes against humanity, and it is still wait trial for your own case. Me, personally, I will be a witness for that case. They don't already interview me. I don't already give my statement. I just wait for the trial to start. And the trial for Pascal Kiki and Benedict Kwa as well, as I don't already explain for now, I go try for find time in my life to make sure, say, I fly for America, I go attend those trials. And if I don't get the money, when I go contribute money, give me for sleep for fine hotel, chop better crayfish and jangra and lobsters and all kind of fine fish, and then attend those trials. I don't really tell you, I've been at the king, the Igwe, king of all the black legs. I know be president, I need to stand for election. King, the one and only. So make I not digress plenty as I be the talk. When I don't hear from the very first Amba terrorists, it don't start now today. Even that something will start for 2016 or 2017. And this one also go for the people the way they always claim, say, the lawyers and teachers strike, it be peaceful, there no be no way they do. And then these Amba people, the separatists, the what they call them again, the radicals, they hijack their revolution. Big fat lie. You know, if you tell me, say, any person there for Cameroon today, where it be above the age of 50, where it means, say, for 2016 or so, when this nonsense be start, it be there around the age of 40 or 40 something. You know, if you tell me, say, they no be know about the 1997 terrorist bombings, terrorist atrocities, them, where Anglophone terrorism, it no start now today. You know, if you tell me, say, they no be know about the AAC1 and the so-called Boya Declaration. You know, go tell me, say, they no be know about the AAC2 of 1995 and the so-called Bamenda Declaration. You know, go tell me, say, they don't know about the so-called London Memorandum on a London Communique. You know, if you tell me, say, all these people, they no be know about which way the barrister Yamba, and what they call them, contang them, and all of these people, the which way they be do for the agitation them, where they will go hoist the Amba flag, where they will talk about separation and secessionism inside Cameroon. It no start now today. It start now in the 90s. You know, go tell me, so when I never ever hear the word Ambazonia, where it start now in 1984, 85. You know, go tell me, so when I don't know, say the so-called SCNC exists, where they will go for New York, say they go reopen the so-called decolonization file for so-called Southern Cameroon. When I know if it tell me, say when I know we know, say this thing, it don't simmer in the background, underground, it don't boil up. When I know if it full we, the younger generation where we don't come today, we understand the reality. Say Anglophones, they don't always sit on a powder keg. And for 2016, the Anglophones themselves, they deliberately, willingly, willfully, knowingly, they light matches, they light the fuse for that powder keg where we should on top. What do I mean by powder keg? It means that some some container we get gunpowder. Now why do they call them powder keg? We take that gunpowder where they put that inside some container, maybe like Mukuta back, then we should on top. And then for 2016, we decide for light matches on top that gunpowder where we should on top. What were we expecting? We knew exactly what we were doing. Anglophones, the lawyers and teachers knew exactly what they were doing. Their calculation, Bibina say, was the light that fuse. Now, they go say, hey, I beg, if we not light them, if we burn the house and maybe me too, I go burn inside the house, I beg no light them. Then they go run, bring water, can quench the fire, come down, can dialogue, negotiate, and appease the people the way they light the fire, where they call them, say, arsonist. But now the reality where we experience some nasewity, they talk, say, okay, when I want for light fire, when now una should on top the gunpowder, okay, when I light them, make we see them. So Anglophones, they light them for 2016. And then 2017 can pass, 18 can pass, they talk about our boys. And then as time pass, 2019 can pass, 2020 can pass, they will expect it, so Cameroon government, you can't beg them, appease them, negotiate. No man, no come. Now in 2025, they start the regret. They start to talk, say, chai, had I known. Because they don't light that powder keg, that gunpowder, it don't explode for their face. Now that the same Anglophones, the way they come out for outside, on the 22nd of September 2017, they chant, they sing. They talk, say, how many people Paul Biya go kill. They sing, they work out. When I see the video, I reply now. Now Anglophones them that for 2017. All of these people, they don't become now victims of their own actions today. I say all of them, all of them, either their pikin never go for school, their pikin don't carry unwanted pregnancies, their pikin be joined Amba, they kill them, or themselves they don't can kidnap them, they pay ransoms, or they don't destroy their business because of, say, Amba, they don't declare lockdowns, ghost towns. All Anglophones, they don't feel the consequences of this stupidity where we cause them for ourselves. So make we know the lie. They talk about, say, Pobia be declare war, or say, we no be know what we will be do for 2016, 2017. Anglophones knew. They be one for hold the Cameroon government to ransom. They don't be believe, say, it go backfire on them. But the reality na it don't backfire, and now all Anglophones, they feel the consequences of this self-inflicted suffering, and we deserve them. Now the funny thing that, so make no man, come out there, they talk the same lie, because we will continue for the debunk them, and you will look stupid. Say, Pobia be declare war 2017. It declared war for 2017. So why Ayabacho they will bring Baba for court Odeshi for 1997? So Ambazonia terrorism, when an Anglophone terrorism for Cameroon, it not start now today. It start now since 1997. And I don't present una with the evidence. My country people them. And I know say when I talk so I can't talk say no talk am, because you make an Anglophones they go look bad. Listen, if we no examine what way we they go through for 2016, 17 to 2025, if we not talk the truth about the reality of what role we will play, the stupidity where we embody them and we display them publicly, if we try for hide them, it means say we dey just prepare for repeat the same mistakes again. But we need for come to equity. We need for reckon with the reality, the truth of which way we don't do them, which way we don't pass through in the past 7 or 8 years. Because now the only way that for prevent the same stupidity make it no happen again. Just like how even Ayabacho they talk am, say the mistakes the way them be do them with the SCNC, SCPC or whatever they call them, for the 1990s, them it will repeat itself today in the 2020 something. Just like how the NW the Frontier they are infighting in the 1940s, the 50s, the 60s, it lead we to the radicalization of the 1980s and 1990s. It lead we to the stupidity and the self-inflicted suffering and Ambazonia terrorism, where with they drink poison, they expect different person for die. Just like how Anglophones that go through this thing, they repeat the mistakes over and over again. Now because they will lack the ability for learn. We lack the ability to reckon with the reality of our past, with history. We lie to ourselves about our history. But this generation will not go repeat that mistake. We will make sure say we record the history as it happened. We talk them exactly as it be, so that our people don't go ever fall for the same stupidity, the same trap, the same manipulation in the future. We will talk the truth, the good, the bad, and especially the ugly. We will talk them.
They say they fight to set us free, but all we see is misery. They came with fire, they came with guns. Now we they cry for our daughters and sons. Our villages burn, our people flee. We live in fear, no place to be. This one has come, we never start. Now pain and sorrow, they tear us apart. But the nation call with open hands. DDR, go help us stand. From the grip of fear and blood, we go rise again with God. Hey, 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 then come massa. We the Cameroonians, we pledge our loyalty. Come massa. You shall free our land from terror. Your blessing go shine like stars above, and the Most High God shall be your guide, shall be your guide. Children when no go school, ghost town, stone market to tomb. They promise freedom, bring us chains, but now we rise to break that pain. We say no more to blood and hate. We choose the path to a peaceful state. My country people talk I'm true. Say peace go start with me and you. Cries from the grass fields, our mothers born pikin for bush. No hospital, no midwife touch. Kidnap and ransom, don't turn to law. Even church no safe, them break God's door. Our future they lost for gun and fear. Young boys forced to kill their peers. Amba say na freedom fight, but now we they suffer day and night. Let the drums of peace be loud. Let our mothers dance, make our fathers proud. From Banenda to Bua town, we go wear a green, red, yellow crown. Hey, 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 ding Congo Massa. We the Cameroonians, we pledge our loyalty. Congo Massa and Congo Massa, you shall free our land from terror. Oh, Congo Massa, Massa, may your wisdom shine forevermore, and the Most High God shall be your guide.